Welcome back everyone to our day 2 for our JPACT batch. And we're primarily focusing on some basic fundamentals today, team, as well. There are a couple of activities also I would want you to do. Before that, let's take a quick look at what we did in the day 1, yesterday's session. We spoke very briefly, team, about how IT works, software in general. For us to be able to get to a level where we can start working with test automation frameworks, we want to make sure that we've got a decent knowledge on software, hardware, what are the operating systems, and how we go about building desktop Windows applications, web-based applications, cloud applications, and so on. Just an insight into what these are at a basic level. That is what we're providing there, team. And we went about asking as to what each application is. And that is very important for us to know, team. Now, applications is the most key aspect, team. So we're talking about this. So see, all these are applications, different types of applications. The primary difference being their utilizations and what is the purpose of it. Differentiates in the way they are applied, used by varied users. So it is always based on who will be the user for me, for my application, and that is my starting point, team, to analyze as to what I want to do. In this, what is very critical is to have a good clarity on which is what kind of an application. So the simplest way for us to look at, if you open an application in a browser, it is a web-based application. If you install it on your system, then it's a cloud-based application. For example, if I say something like an Excel, this becomes a web-based, desktop application. It's a cloud-based, I'm sorry. Anything that you install on your machine locally becomes your desktop application. So an Excel sheet by itself would have a lot of features, team. Just observe what I'm trying to say here. So I can enter rows and columns, a lot of data here. I have all these features as to what we could do with this data, the way we can view it, the way we can present it, the way we can calculate. All of that information is contained in here, right? Now the same information we will also have a chance to look at in a Google Sheet. The primary difference is this is hosted on a web application, while Microsoft Excel you're downloading on your system as MS Office and using it. Clear, team, everyone? Now, when it comes to software applications, sorry, this is different screen. Yeah, I think so. Okay. So when we are looking at, we also spoke about waterfall and how releases happen, how Agile tries to reduce that release cycle, make it shorter overall. And we were speaking a little bit about manual and automation. So in fact, we covered a lot of things, team. Just mention what are the frameworks and so on. Now, what is it that we want to do today? So we've started with the big picture of, overall, what is this hardware, then what is the software, what are web-based applications or desktop applications, and what you can do with them. Okay, so we've come from imagine that you've entered a large 7-bedroom, 8-bath, palatial, vacation home. So as you get in, you look at from the outside as to how big the house is. That's primarily your soft hardware of what you're looking at. Once you start going in and feeling everything as to how you're comfortable, how your feelings are, how happy you are, it becomes your output of your software as to how you're working on it. You cannot explore, each room could have a different functionality, team, in your villa. You could have a room specific to, have dinners. You could have room specific for entertainments and play and sleep and so on. So each room has its purpose. Now the same thing gets divided within the world of applications as well. So when we talk about an application, let's imagine that this box represents what is there as scope within an application. Let us take an application that we are well aware of. Let's assume WhatsApp. Okay. And let's, go back in time for about maybe 3 years, 4 years or so, when all it had a chat and it had group, but it had no calling or phone. It wasn't there, right? And then they will add that into the next version and next version. Okay, everyone, this large box is representative of the entire application. So what did I call this yesterday, team? As a software test engineer, we call this applications as, anyone? AUT. These are the applications under test. Okay. Now what we do is we got to understand that apps can be small or large. What do I mean, team? If I go to, for example, AnyAUT.com, this is a website. Is this an application? Of course, it's an application. Maybe it doesn't have too much in terms of features as is. It's a static website. It's got all of this content in it. Okay. But then there is something else where you can log in and it's taking you to AnyAUT.com/orange. And here it's got a lot more features that could have you, start looking at complex things and how you could handle it. Now imagine this, team, and imagine this website, or let's say even as simple as a google.com, which at the head of it looks good. The homepage is so simple for it. Now if we compare the same thing with the gmail.com or any other larger applications, you will see they differentiate a lot. What I'm trying to say, team, applications can be broken down to smaller, more easily manageable pieces. We call them as modules. So one app may have multiple modules. So each of these things that you're seeing here could be representative of a module. So we have 3 modules in this right now. And these 3 modules, once it's going here, maybe I'm adding a 4th module. So actually there are 2 modules here. And then there will be 3 modules coming here. So in an application, you can break the entire app into smaller modules. That is the whole concept. Modules are usually based on functionalities. This is something we will learn at length, team, as we go about. Okay. Now, when we talk about this, so let's take an application and let's divide it into a couple of modules. Team. Now here is AnyAUT. I don't want you to do anything much with it, but I'm going to use a private window, go to AnyAUT.com again and say login here. I would see a page that mostly you all must be seeing if you're not a registered member. Enough, everyone? So here, let's say this is the application. Remember this, team. AnyAUT as of now is just a third-party application that we want to try and test to see how it works. That's our intent with it. It is not to learn AnyAUT right away. We are only focusing on what is software testing in general still. Now, team, I've come to a section where this is the home page for AnyAUT. Okay. So how do I divide this into modules? If I think about it, this comes to me over a period of time through experience, but basically how I can manage it. So look at it this way. If I say join us, there is an entire set of data or content and forms that has to be filled in to become a member. So by default, I would say join us is a good module. Has to be independently tested to see how it works, if it works, and so on. Then I see login. And login as a process will go through its verifications and try and do the same. So maybe another module called login. And a third one is, let's say, just UI, I will say. UI testing. What is UI team? Basically user interface testing. Okay. UX becomes your user experience team. The subtle difference between them, let's figure this out. Now what happens, team? We're trying to simplify a larger application by dividing it into smaller modules. And I've got this into 3 modules here. As I tend to grow and simplify this, I would love to see this in a more tabular fashion team than as a simple Word document. So what I would do as an alternate would be open a Google Sheet as a spreadsheet instead of a Word document. And let's talk about this. Let's say application and test modules or AUT AnyAUT. Whatever details I want about it, I'm going to put it here. We've still not got to it. Testing. What is it that we're testing? We're trying to understand an application first. Then we can talk about testing. So what I want to do here, team, I want to create a sheet. Okay. And let's rename this and call this as modules. So any module that I happen to be creating in this specific for AnyAUT.com/orange, I want to be able to put them here. So I have 3 modules. What I will do? I'm sorry. Let me give it something to make it more unique, team. That will be easier for us to work. So look at what is important here. In QA team in general, and this is a key point. In QA, naming conventions. Naming and documenting convention is critical because our applications go through state changes. We go through a lot of things, team, internally. So we want to make sure that everything is being correctly put, especially the names and so on. So when I say modules, I want to list down all the modules in here. So every module will have a name and I will have a description also as to what is that the module does or what is it that we want. Maybe I'll have something like created by, who's the QA, which QA engineer. What are the modules? We have 3 modules. Copy them. Take it and put it. I've got my module names, team, and it's good to see things like English with all the spaces and so on. And for me, these are more like descriptions as well. So I can put the same here and say this is primarily join us module, which helps new members to register. When each of you are doing the same that I'm showing you, and I'm expecting you to repeat this in practice, team. We're still in the early stages of learning, so there's a lot that we will come to. Please note that I do not really appreciate and I really encourage you to relook at your content if there are any grammar or spell errors. Make sure everything is correct. Do not show me something that is half made. Give yourself ample time to review your work. That is very critical, team. We as in QA, we should avoid making as many mistakes as we would like, we can. Okay. Okay. Now, what's the next one? This one will help us identify login module that helps to do what thing? Login. Incorrect login is also there, right? You can also maybe do forgot password. So there are a few functionalities that login may have. UI testing. What do I mean by UI testing here? Okay. Here in the user interface, ensure all other items or objects or elements on the application, in our case it's a web app, are in place and correct. So difference very simple, team. We spoke about this field, and how they will work. We spoke about JoinUS, but where did we spoke about if logo is correct, if title is correct, if the username is correct here, password is correct. Even these need to be tested. It's like taking your car and giving it to a mechanic. The engine is fixed, perfect, everything is good, but they did not check for the air in your tires. So there's something left. When you go for a big one, you want to check for everything. That is our job, to check for everything each time. Okay. QA needs is expected to check for everything every time, each time. It is a pretty hard expectation, but that is our role, and that is where we get pushed. But team, I want to be more sensible about how I create and maintain my information. I'm still doing manual testing, but for me, very important is to organize content. So it is easy for me to look at what am I doing and to go back and to collaborate and so on. So for me to keep things very, very unique and in the same fashion, I also want to introduce a module ID, a unique identification that is common to it. It will not be shared with anyone else. Think of it like a unique name that we're assigning to each module. So I'll call this as M for a module. Maybe there will be up to 100 modules. I'll say 01, join us. That is my naming convention. I could also name it as AnyAUT, right? 01, join us. Oops, sorry, this is 02, login. Which one would you prefer, team? The first with M or the second with AA? Are you all with me? Which one would you prefer? Team, answers in the chat, please. I've got almost equal answers, team. A is good and M is also good. The only challenge will come as I keep adding more. I will use the same A. So as soon as I look at it, I don't know if it is a module or a test case or a test step. So I would more prefer with M01, team, if that is fine. All right. So the details of the application, we can write it anywhere, but in terms of describing the application, let's do it here. So this, I'm going to call this is M02 login and then M-03-UI. Now these are my modules, team. So I will call you and say, Uma, have you done JoinUS? Or Vidya, have you done UI testing? or Suraj, have you done login? So it basically refers to that, have you completed that module? Okay, I've broken down my application into only 3 parts now: JoinUS, login, and UI. Once after I log in, and there are a lot of other things, team. Maybe more modules. There may be dozens of modules, I don't know. And let's say dashboard. Once we log in, we basically come to something like a dashboard like this. So we'll have to do some testing for that. All right, team, I just have another 5-6 minutes today and going to do something quick. So now, great. We have divided our application into modules. Okay. Now what I want to do, let's talk about JoinUS, team. JoinUS by itself as a functionality has so many things that you need to do in it. Okay, you need to create an account, then this contact information, and let's say proceed, for example, team. Okay, I will tell you how, but under JoinUS, now where do I put that then? Under JoinUS, make any spell errors, let me know, team. What does it say? This was for, okay. Test all this items on the dashboard after a user successfully. So the amount of English that we are having to use, because there should be no arbitration, team, or a scope that we left that for a thought. We want to be very specific about everything. Test all basic items on the dashboard after a user successfully logs in. Signs in. If the user is not signed in, not supposed to see. That's what we mean to say. So in that aspect of testing, not only we are saying what we expect to see, we also want to make sure that we don't expect to see this, so it's not supposed to show. Now let's go back to this sheet and understand. So we're saying create an account, contact information, proceed. After an application is broken down into a module, each module can be further broken down into a test case or a test scenario. A TC is basically an end-to-end execution of one flow of a user. Okay, created for that test. So primarily what happens, this is how it is. Imagine in a very, very simple way what we are saying. This is where usually most of us try and get a little complicated about it. I don't need to save this one, but let me save this. There is a place A, team, and there's a place B. Okay. Now, user 1 goes in this route. User 2 goes in this route. User 3 goes in this route. Okay, all of them go from A to B. Each user takes a different one because third user has some work here, second user has, or second user, third user have work here, and so on, depending on what they want to do. They will all go from A to B. That is what they want to do, travel from a point A to B. But the 3 types of users who may go in different direction. So we as QA engineers have to test all of those. For now, imagine what I'm trying to say this team. For a regular user, if a user, remember this, you will only do 1 or 2 or 3 each day. You won't be going. If you use 2 route every day, why do you want to go to 1 or 3? Because it does not matter to you. It is not your direction. So you don't ever know how 1 or 3 works, that route. These are new roads to you. These are new routes to you as an end user. But a QA engineer must navigate through all these roads himself, make sure everything is correct, and then let the user navigate. Is that clear, team? So your test cases need to be able to cover all possible user approaches or navigation, how they navigate through an application. Anyone in the audience is lost, team? At least if you're going good, just let me know everything is good. Anyone having a tougher time, let me know, please. Now, what happens? What is a test case in this case? So I've already created a sheet called module. Let me create one more sheet here, team. I'll call it test cases. Now, I said that test cases belong to a module. Where it is, each module can be further broken down into test case or test scenario. So, in the application, we said we'll do create an account, contact information, proceed arbitrarily. So like module ID, I will have a test case ID team. I will definitely have a test case name if I want to, or description. You don't need to repeat all of them. But what module does it belong to? That is critical for me. So I will bring that module ID from there and put it here. Okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry. All right. So now I have one test case here. And see the naming convention, how we can create an account, right? So I'll say test case, right team? So I'll start with TC. Module I started with it. I'll say 01 hyphen create account. It does have a little English. It also basically does not tell me which module it belongs to, but at least it, if I look at the sheet, then yes. Okay. So here now TC02 was what contact information will proceed. Contact info. I'm trying to be a little short team wherever possible. And this is my test case 3. Proceed. For just UI, and for field validation is the other thing. Okay. I'm not writing description today. We're a little over time also. I need to be starting the other session too. And this becomes part of a module. My module has these contents. So now when we look at a diagram, we basically will take that module and break it down into test cases. When we come tomorrow, team, I will talk about how we can break down test cases into test steps. I didn't get too much plans. Test cases, each test case can now further broken down into tests. Let me write a few. I'll just inform the Python team that I may be late. I just put a message. Let's talk about test testing. Very important. See how we're going through one thing after the other. What was the first one? Oh, sign up, right? Why I'm going there. Modules. There's login also, right? Let's do login or here I'll have PC01. What we call it? PC01. Login. I have TC02 incorrect login. TC03 forgot password and so on. Each module having different test cases. Let's put some subtle backgrounds. It'll be easy for us to identify. Yeah, learn different. A lot of what we will do, team, will be part of a Microsoft Excel. It is a simple tool for us to then keep a focus more on process and how software test automation is to get there. So we're now talking about test steps. So how does a test step look? Let us say that I need definitely all of this. So now when I talk about a step, I know which module it is under. I know which test case it is under. I know the test step, what it is. I will also tell the step number, team, because for me, the order in which the steps are getting executed, it is important. Let's assume cooking, all right? It is not like you will put vegetables first and then add oil later and so on. There is a specific sequence of steps that you need to perform. That is the same thing that happens here. So that step number will come here. So I'll say first step, second step, third step, fourth step, fifth step. So that's what I intend to do. Now, what is the test case? For example, I take a simple one like incorrect login. And this by itself may have a few steps. I don't know yet. I'm assuming, let's assume that we're junior QA to start with, and we're taking our baby steps. So I don't know how many steps it will have. I know what we need to do. I know exactly what we need to do. Okay. So see the step number. Actually, let's do this. It's the only problem here. Okay. Trying to align things together. All right. Now, what is the first step? It's a web-based application. So remember that we need to talk about a lot of things. I will not say open your mobile application or open your mobile or open your laptop, switch it on, turn it on, all that you do it. Definitely open a browser. Let us say we want to do it with Chrome. I say open Chrome. My step 2 will be to navigate, go to this URL, the URL where I can log in. So I'm going to copy this. And then click on, what do we want to click on? Login. So once we here, click on login. Once we click on login, what is it that we see, team? Email address, password, sign in. Enter incorrect username. Enter incorrect password. Click on sign in. And so many mistakes that we could tend to make. The only way to avoid is keep things in a simple manner. So once I click on sign in, let's say I enter something random that does not exist. Okay. And say sign in. I would want my application to throw an error and say something like this: invalid email or password. A simple one. Verify the error message. That's this. Let's make sure that this message is coming. Once I'm done with it, okay, then I can say close the browser. This becomes one test case, everyone. Under one module called login, we're checking for specific functionality called incorrect login. Now my correct login, how will it be, team? Oopsie. This is good for incorrect login. Now look at how easy it is for me sometimes. I'm just going to copy this, insert 8 above, paste it, call this 01. Oh, no, actually same login. 2 minutes. Correct login, right? So I'll take this. Till where? Till here. So that's correct login, incorrect login. Enter. Here it comes. Correct username, difference. Enter correct password. And this is incorrect. Okay. Now I have 2 test cases, team, which have been quickly written down for us to take a look at how the application is supposed to behave. And again, feel free to give your own coloring or backgrounds to see if you want to differentiate them from the other tests. And what is very, very critical is the structure in which we are making this. It is very easy to do something similar, but with least focus on documentation, naming conventions, how you go about systematically. So please make sure there's a lot of focus on that. When we come to day 3, we're going to finish this, and then I'm going to give you that link, team. In fact, I don't know if you can start to try if you can. One second. Projects. Excel. Okay. This is a runner file, team. It's a 446 MB file. You should download that and primarily just set it up like a folder on your machine. Anywhere is fine. Okay, so for example, I put it up here. Okay, 1.02, I think. Once you have it here, team, all you do, so once you unzip, you'll get a folder like this, is launch the executable jar. You will see AnyAUT launching up this way, and then click on it, execute automation test. There's also already a demo.xls is created out here where it corresponds to. So we'll start creating results, test output log folder as it goes about the execution. Now it's launching up the browser. You go to a test application, an AUT that we've taken for sample. It will show how the navigation is done on an automation basis. So it's done one test case, it's finished it, it's logged out, it's doing the other one. So it's pretty fast in what it does. When we meet on day 3, I'll walk you through exactly how. As of now, it is just very, very casual for you to go take a look and see how this works. Right, everyone? Few more things on basics, and then by end of next week, I think we'll be very, very comfortable on AnyAUT and how it works. So at the end, once the execution is done, I think it's still going on. With that. Let me put this link in the chat for all of you, team. If it is not working for you, could be web driver issues and so on. We will take a look from Monday. That's it from my side, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a great day. We'll see you all back on Monday then. Have a great weekend, team. Thank you. Bye. 1 second, team. There's Mohammed. Mohammed, can you send me your email address, please? I don't know where you are. Your email address is what I need. Okay, got it. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you. I will have someone look at Mohammed immediately. Bye.